In this market update, I'm going to show a comparison of China, which is becoming more authoritarian, and Argentina, which is becoming more capitalistic. Hi, Jim Gore from THOR Wealth Management. When a country becomes more authoritarian or more capitalistic, it really has an impact on their economy. Let's first take the example of China. Xi was elected back in 2013. And what have we seen under Xi? We've seen the growth rate in the economy and the GDP drop from 10% down to 4%. Now that's, if we can believe the numbers that are coming out of China, it actually probably is lower than 4% right now. But you've seen under Xi, as he's become more authoritarian, that the growth rate in China has fallen. Now, take another look at what has happened with authoritarianism, especially when Jack Ma, who is the founder of Alibaba, went missing after he said some negative comments about the regime in China. And you can see actually what happened to the stock market. It was actually up after COVID, but since Jack Ma disappeared for a couple of months and then he's come back, there's been a real chilling effect on the stock market in China. Actually, you've seen the stock market really crash since then in China because of what happened with Jack Ma. Now, let's see what has actually happened with capital flows. And this is very important because China needs more money coming into the system in China in order to keep the economy going. Companies, because it's the chilling effect of what happened with Jack Ma, you've seen capital flows in China go the other way. Companies are taking their money out of China. There's not money going into China right now, which is what they really need for the lifeblood of the system. And it makes sense. You're not going to put money at risk if that money is going to be taken away from you. And so that money coming out, as well as the stock market going down, this is a true sign that the authoritarian principles that Xi has put in place have really been negative for China. Let alone you take the unemployment rate for those males that are between the age of 18 and 25 is well over 20% right now in China. And they actually stopped producing that number because it was so high. There are some problems in China because of the more authoritarian Xi has become. It has actually quashed the capital in China. Now, let's look at another example. Argentina, the exact opposite. They had an election last December, and Milei became the president of Argentina. And Milei is a Milton Friedman type of an economist that wants pure growth capitalism in Argentina, and he is making changes. Well, let's look at the stock market. Complete opposite of what happened in China. China is falling as they become more authoritarian, their stock market. Argentina's stock market is up quite significantly since Milei has come in. Secondly, it's only been 2 quarters, but look at what has happened with capital flows. Capital was coming out of Argentina in a massive way. However, since Milei became president, what has happened? Foreign money is going in there. Why? Because foreigners now feel more comfortable that their money will be preserved under this administration. And so money is going into Argentina, and as money comes in, that helps their economy. And so we're seeing 2 different sides of the table. When a country becomes more authoritarian, it hurts their financial markets. When it becomes more capitalistic, it helps the financial markets. And that's what we're seeing between these 2 countries. Now, there are 2 books that I think are very important to read about China. First, it's an older book that came out in 2012, is Red Capitalism. And this is a book that talks about the banking, if you will, in China and how they've never written off a bad loan in 30, 40 years at those banks. So you look at those empty cities, and we've seen it on YouTube. Those banks are underwater, but that Red Capitalism is a good book. And when we asked our emerging market managers if they read Red Capitalism, when we were interviewing them, it was interesting. If they didn't read it, they would have some of the banks, Chinese banks, in their portfolio. If they did read it, guess what? They didn't have any of the Chinese banks, which is one thing that we liked. The other book, which really shows the problem of what has happened with Jack Ma in a more demonstrative fashion, is Red Roulette. And this is by Desmond Shum. Him and his wife were very prominent in China and built the cargo shipping area for the Shanghai airport. And I won't tell you the whole story, but if you want to see the chilling effect of what happened with Jack Ma, read this book, because it's chilling effect throughout China, where they have become less capitalistic and more authoritarian. If you have any questions or concerns, as always, reach out to us at thorwealthmanagement.com or give us a call. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the new year. Subscribe to the THOR channel today.